Hello, everyone, and welcome back to season 2 of Talking with Ty. Today is episode 3, and I am super excited about the guest that I have on today. As always, guys, I am your host, Ty Jackson. Talking with Ty, if this is your first time tuning in, Talking with Ty is an unscripted lifestyle podcast that focuses on the story behind the brand. I believe that everybody has a story, and it is the story that connects us as people. I come from the multifamily industry, from the leasing professional to a sales rep to property manager to now being the AE for Arkansas. And one of the things that has sustained me in this industry is my relationship with people. That's the thing that has got me into doors that I was not privy to at first. It's the thing that has got my name mentioned in rooms that I'm not in. So I believe in relationships, and I believe the best way to connect people is by telling the story. So today, guys, I am super excited to be sharing my platform with my girl Crystal Dukes. Crystal is, let's see who Crystal is. So Crystal serves as the Director of Education, Training, DEI Strategies for Real Source Properties, bringing with her over 18 years of experience in the multifamily industry. In her current role, Crystal is responsible for the design and implementation of onboarding initiatives, leadership development, and mentoring programs, while also overseeing the diversity and inclusion efforts. As a Color Magazine 40 Under 40, boom, boom, power list honoree to the contributions of the DE&I in multifamily. She is active within the multifamily industry, participating on a national level as a recent NAA Diversity Leadership Program graduate and capstone winner. She also serves on the NAA's Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee. She's a mentor in the NAA's Diversity Leadership Program. She's the co-chair of the membership committee for DE&I Task Force, and she also belongs to the Apartment Association of Greater Columbia. Crystal is a busy woman, because I didn't even mention that she's a mother and that she's a wife and she's a friend and that she travels fluently and all the other things amazing about Crystal. So let's welcome Crystal on, because there is no better way that I could tell Crystal's story than to let her come on and to speak with us today. So Crystal, welcome to Talking with Ty. It is a pleasure.
Yes, thank
Pleasure
you.
to have you on today.
Thank you for having me, Ty.
Yes, no, thank you for being on here. So, Crystal, I read all the amazing things about you. And these are things that I would say that most of the people in the multifamily industry kind of know about you, the space.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about you. We're going to go deep. We definitely have to do that in the story. But tell us how you got started. Like, how did you even come to the multifamily industry? How you get started in this world?
It's so funny, Ty, because every time I tell this story, it's so weird how it all happened. But I actually was applying for a graphic design internship. And I was doing that is when I was in college. So I was living in student housing and obviously going to school, being a college student, not having any money. So they had a graphic design internship and it was like free. So free rent. So I applied for it, but ultimately they did away with the internship. But because I had called like every single week, the current property manager at the time, who is my mentor and very dear friend, Kathy Felix, was like, she's very persistent. I definitely think that she can lease some apartments. And so she asked me if I want to be a leasing agent. And I was like, is it still free rent? And she was like, yeah. And I said, okay, I'll do it. And it turned out that I was actually pretty good at it. And from there, my career just took off within multifamily. It's something I never even knew about before I knew about it, if that makes sense. And I just kind of jumped in feet first, and it was amazing. It has been amazing.
So, what were your dreams of being before? Because since you didn't know anything about multifamily, this was not the when I grow up, I'm going to be in the multifamily industry.
No,
What were
not at all.
Crystal's dreams? What were we gonna be?
Well, it's so funny. I changed my major 7 times. So obviously I didn't know what I wanted, or I wanted to be a little bit of everything. So I thought I was actually just going to be a writer, and then I thought I was just going to design because I love graphic design. It's a passion of mine. I still do it now in my current field. So I thought that I would just be, you know, in that doing that space. But then when this came around, and this is me, it's for me, there's so many opportunities within multifamily, and so many people don't know about the industry. So for me, you have, when I started, I was a leasing agent, and then I was a leasing manager. Then I was the assistant. So we switched sides, right? We're not just leasing. Now we made these relationships with people. Um, Great, come and talk to me, sit down in student housing, but now I'm collecting rent, right? And now it's not so easy for these relationships. And then I
Yeah.
moved into conventional, totally different space in student housing. I if conventional is where is that?
Right.
I'll probably not go back to student housing. And then and now I'm just connecting to people just on a very serious level, as these are adults who are experiencing difficulties, because again, I'm the assistant property manager. I'm still collecting the money. So
Mhm.
it's all about the relationships that I'm forming. Not very easy job to do. Then I went to property manager for a small property, then a large property, and then I went into training, which is amazing. I never thought that this would be the space that I was in, but you understand, when you've been doing it for a while, you're training anyways. This
Yeah.
is this is what we do. So
Mhm.
when I was approached to be the national trainer, I was like, I don't know. I really was gonna be a regional.
Yeah.
And then they were like, just try it. And I was like, all right, let me go and try it. And I love it, Ty. It's amazing. And just jumping in and working with so many different people and having that experience has just been amazing. And if I'd have known about it before, it might have been
Mhm.
something that I wanted to do a little later in life, because I was a completely different person back in high school. Very
Mhm.
quiet, very reserved.
Right.
But that has changed over time. And this is just, I love it. I
Well, you
love
know
the
what?
work.
One of the things that you said that really stands out to me, you said, I wanted to be a regional. But when the
Yeah.
opportunity presented itself, you
Hmm.
were open to it, and now you find yourself in a space that you really love. So,
Yeah.
how important would you say? Because do you know how many people I come in contact with in this industry, and we have this dream: you become a leasing agent, and then something happens, and it's like, I'm gonna be a property manager. Then I'm gonna be a regional. I'm gonna be a
Yeah.
VP. And you have this roadmap in your head, and you don't want to deviate from that. And I see so many people stay stagnant in the industry because they won't deviate away from the
That's right.
plan. And I know that you're a structured person. I call Crystal the boss, guys. She don't want me to say that out loud on this platform, but Crystal reminds me kind of like of a mob boss. Now, not that she'll break your legs or anything. I don't know if you owe her some money. I don't know what will happen, but she gets things done. So my ladies in melanin and multifamily, I'm definitely sure can attest to that. That if it needs to get done, we send
Hmm.
Crystal in there. If it needs to get negotiated, if we have a problem at an event, a restaurant, we need somebody to talk to the people, we're gonna send Crystal in there to get it done for us.
Yeah.
So I know that you are a structured person and you
Yeah.
plan things out and you go by the book. So how was it to deviate away from the plan?
And it just kind of happened, Ty. You just have to be willing to embrace something that's new. And you really never know what's for you until you give it a try. And that's very important. It's definitely something I learned later in life, but I embraced it. I gave myself the opportunity to jump in. And I think that's important for everyone, because this industry offers so many different career pathways. So give your chance to play to your strengths. You know what I'm saying? You may have in your mind something that you want to do, but you may be excelling in a completely different area that takes you to totally different field or position within multifamily. So you have to allow yourself to do it. And that's what I did. I was a little reluctant at first, like I said, but once I got into it, it felt right. It felt good. But I gave myself the opportunity to to see how it would feel, how I would feel about it. And I think that's really important for anyone, any in any industry, to be completely honest with you. Anywhere you are in your career, the path is not always how you've envisioned it, but it doesn't mean that you can't be successful. So giving yourself
Exactly.
the opportunity, that flexibility, I think is very, very important.
I'm having to go back in and drop us on LinkedIn because now this is live, people. So I just keep it all the way real with y'all.
Yeah, I'm
It was
having
two. It was
trouble.
two events that were created, and I canceled one of them, and I think I canceled the one that's attached. So it's going live on our Facebook, but it's not going live on our LinkedIn page, which is definitely where we want it to go live from. So I'm
Yes.
just hopping over to LinkedIn and I'm
Oh,
putting in the link on there. So we're just gonna drop that and make sure people can tune in live. This is what we do. We just put it on here because I can't have them miss you. All right. Now let me come back over to the screen with you.
good to go.
I'm good to go. I just dropped it on LinkedIn so people could come in behind the scene if they needed to
Okay.
also. So thought about being graphic design, being a writer,
Mhm.
um, fell in love with the multifamily industry.
Yes.
What was it? It for let me say this for me, because I didn't think about being in this industry either. Started out as a leasing professional, worked my
Hmm.
way through the ranks, also assistant manager, property manager, and something that changed in me is I went to the supplier side. And
Hmm.
then I came back as the AE, but it was always the people. It was
Yes.
the connection, even when I was in leasing, because I always talk about moving is a stressful thing. It's one of the most stressful things in the world to do. So nobody raises their hand and say, I'm moving today. It's
Hmm.
just something that life changes. A
Hmm.
divorce happens, a marriage happens, a baby is born, a roommate is given, something happens. And I was like this at the leasing desk because I wanted to know the story.
Yes.
What happened?
Yes.
And if I could find out the story,
Hmm.
I could lease to you because
Yeah.
I believe that everybody has four walls and a floor. So they could go live next door. There's a reason why they're deciding to live here, and they're deciding to live here because of me.
Hmm. That's
So
right.
what was it that connected you to say, this is it? This is where I belong.
Yes. So absolutely, the people. The people are very important in any role within multifamily. And you meet so many different people. But for me, I think more so, definitely people, but more so, there is never a dull moment in multifamily. We've said that over and over again. We often say that when we're talking to other people within our industry, but it's so fast paced. And, you can work hard at something and feel fulfilled. Just kind of like what you said, when you are connecting with the residents, and even the associates, we play a lot of different roles that we didn't sign up for when we're multifamily. So you start off as a leasing agent or you're a community manager, but you're also a therapist. You you're a babysitter sometimes. So you always know the kids coming in. The leasing office want to stop, want to chat. You're working things out for roommates. I mean, there's so much to it, and you get to be all those people, and you get to help so many people. And honestly, with this being their home, you're there during the good times, during the bad times, but it never stops. It is very fast paced. And being in that environment, feeling like day in and day out, maybe what I planned to do for that daytime, I didn't get done. But I got so much done. In general, it just feels more. accomplished. Like I feel more accomplished.
Mhm.
So that was really important for me. And honestly, when I switched over to the corporate side of things, education and training, now DE&I, that same feeling of accomplishment is there. And I know so many people who work in their jobs and really are unfulfilled. And that is not something that I've experienced with multifamily. The day I do is the day I stop because I'm not about now I'm a little spoiled. I'm doing what makes me happy and I want to continue to do so. But I do feel it all plays a part, but just it being so fast paced. And anybody you talk to, of course, you know, a lot of people that I know,
Mhm.
they can tell you I have my hands in everything. And that's just how I work. This is how I like to be. So,
You know what? I love that. And one of the things that stood out to me was how many people that you got to help.
yeah.
Can you know, when you said that, it made me go back because a lot of us started in this industry in our 20s.
Mm-hmm.
And when
Yes.
you think about
Yeah.
being 25 as a leasing
Mm-hmm.
professional, and a woman is sitting across from you who has had a divorce, and this is her first time ever living on her own,
Mm-hmm.
and you have the power to walk her through that unit, help her visualize what her new life looks like.
Yeah.
Or that college student, like you said, the roommates who
Mm-hmm.
never paid rent before,
Yeah.
back then, ain't never wrote a check, don't know how
Money
to
order,
pay money
anything, nothing time.
order. Right. And never had utilities switched on in their name.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you're able to be that first person that helps them make this grown-up decision. Like I mean, you have to be aligned to this industry
Mm-hmm.
in order to work in it because we do serve people.
Yep.
So to go to spin off of that, you brought up the DE&I committee and the work that you do in that space.
Mm-hmm.
How would you say that your service to people and what sucked you in on site is the same thing that fuels your fire to continue to run in the NAA space?
With the NAA, with DE&I think that it's unique, as in I was experiencing a lot of what I'm hoping that others within this industry who look like me do not have to experience. And that alone drives me to do the work in this space. Um, but it's it's different, as in for the most part it's dealing with the people that I work with, the associates, making sure everyone feels seen, feels heard. And to be honest with you, these are people that I work with all the time. So it's like the pressure is a little bit different, but it matters. The work matters. I'm not doing something just to do it. I'm doing it and it's important. And to have people tell me how it's affecting their lives, it really changes you. It makes you want to do better. It makes you want to learn more. So you're making sure that you are taking the correct steps to continue creating this inclusive environment. So while it is just a little bit different from being on site, just having it be something, the stakes just seem so high at this point.
Yes.
And that means everything. That means everything. And I actually spoke about this at NAA when, I said, we measure the success, like I measure the success of the programs that we roll out within my company, which I work for an amazing company. But we measure the success from the lives we impact. I need the associates to let me know it's working. I need the associates to let me know they feel heard, they feel seen, what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong. It's not just what I think. It's not just what we think the executives think. If the people we're doing it for, they don't feel it, they're not receiving what they need from us, they're not feeling like they are a part of the space that we create, it doesn't matter. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
So it's just a little bit different.
No, I love it. One of the things that I wrote down, you said the stakes seem so high
Yeah.
at this point.
Yeah.
And I wrote that down because I think this is an industry when you're a leasing professional, okay, you're getting your feet wet, you're getting into the industry. When
Yeah.
you start getting to a management level, RVP level, executive level, now the stakes are higher because it's about the people that are aligned to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's about representation because now you're having people say, Crystal, you're the first Black woman that I've seen to do
Yeah.
this. I didn't think this would have been possible until I saw you do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
And so now it's almost taking us back to the bridge on Selma when
Mm-hmm.
the march happened, and you're like, no, I might not be necessarily marching. I might not be necessarily getting a water hose turned on me, but I'm still fighting the fight
Yep.
just in a different
In a
way.
different
So it
way.
makes you prouder because you're still fighting the fight.
Yes. And it's not always easy, and you know this. We know the back and forth that goes on and what goes on behind closed doors and things like that, and it is a fight. But again, I am so very fortunate to work for Real Source, which has been very, very open to wanting to do more for our associates. So we've been given the space to create this inclusive culture. But I hear from a lot of people they are not given that same opportunity. So it is a fight up there. It's things are new. But that's why the work on the national level is so very important. You touch so many people when you get involved in an A on a national level. That's where you can really do the work. It's very important to do it at your organization. It's important to do it on a local level as well. But when you get into that national space, you are touching so many different people. These are huge changes happening. And for anyone out there, I would definitely suggest getting more involved in it if this is something that you want to pursue and want to do. You want to impact people on that level.
And NAA applications, they're actually taking applications right now for the
Mhm.
2024 committees. I know we have a lot of people that's like, how
Yes.
do you get on the committee? How do you so go to the
Yeah.
NAA website? If you do not see it, if you would DM me, I will definitely send you the link because if you want your voice to be heard, and I'll tell you, I've been a part of the industry for a long time, been in the national space, but it's not been until recently, till melanin and multifamily,
Mhm.
until people like Ashia and you were vice chairs, that I even felt a need to speak up, to be honest with you.
Mhm.
Not that I didn't have a voice, I just didn't think that they don't want to hear what I got to say.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
So I'm just going to listen. Now I feel comfortable. So the space has been created. There's been a
Mhm.
shift,
Mhm.
and the space
For
has
sure.
been created to feel comfortable to say these things.
Mhm.
And we're fired up when we leave these meetings, and it's like, okay,
Yep.
change is coming. And even if I don't see it in my career, it will, somebody else that looks like me will
Mhm.
be able to experience the change and no longer have to walk into a room at 40 years old
Right.
and saying I'm the first or nobody in
The
here looks like
only.
me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely. So you talk about the company that you work for. I had the pleasure of meeting some of your
Oh
co-workers,
my
employees,
goodness.
teammates. Shout out to my girl Nicole. Uh,
Jennifer, I just saw her
Jennifer,
comment. They're going to
yes. Shout
it.
out to my girls come through. But the time that I was able to spend with them, it's people can say anything when they in front of you.
Yeah.
So when we in front of you, we love Crystal. She's amazing. But it's what people say when you're not around
Mhm.
that really matters. And I had a conversation with these ladies in the impact. I want you to know that the impact that you are making, the thing, stay the course because women are watching, people are watching. When you celebrated your birthday and you turned 40,
Oh
I'm
my
like,
gosh, you can say that. You're just gonna keep saying it.
yeah,
You don't want to.
we're
You're just
gonna
gonna
keep,
keep
we're
doing
gonna,
it. It's
because
fine.
I want people
Fine.
to know how young you are doing the work. People like, I'm telling you, in this industry, it seems like 40. Oh my God, y'all are getting older. When you look at the leadership in NAA, though,
Hmm.
the leadership is 20 years older than us.
Yeah. Yeah,
So, I mean, shout
absolutely.
out to the leadership. Now, I'm not putting
Absolutely.
none of y'all on blast for y'all age. I'm just saying, I know y'all a little bit more seasoned.
There you go. Season. That's all right.
Y'all started
Don't
leasing
call me
a long
season
time
time.
ago. So, but the 20, if we still have 20 more years of work in us
Mhm.
to do the work, and you're able to see the vision, it's like, oh my God, I can really see where we're going.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I did want to ask you about, I know that you are a recipient of the Alex Jacque Diversity,
Yeah.
Equity, and Inclusion Scholarship.
Yes.
And she, shout out to Alex Jacque. She will be on Talking with Time season 2, episode
Mhm.
4. But how did that change you? What NAI, I mean, what designation did you obtain through that?
Well, actually, when I applied for that scholarship, the getting your designation was actually not one of the options. They were actually sending you to a Dale Carnegie training session, which is amazing. And what it does, I was long story, I've told it, but so I'll keep it short. But I was actually new to my role within Real Source. So I had been a national trainer, but I never run a department. And Teresa Rose, the senior vice president of our company, and even Kim Humphrey, the VP of operations, they took a chance on me, which worked out. But I was still learning, and our organization was really having a lot of change. There was really a sense of urgency. So when I applied for it, first of all, just receiving the scholarship, I had never really applied for anything within our industry before. So applying for that and receiving the scholarship, I mean, it was uh, I don't have the right word for it. It felt good because someone saw in me the potential that was there, and they picked me from however many applicants to participate in this program and to receive the scholarship. So that was actually my first experience with NAA, which is where the session was held. And honestly, walking in the room, again, I'll say there's not a lot of people who look like me, but I felt like I belonged there because I had someone, Alex, which I won't give it away because those of you who don't know her, you'll find out a lot about her tomorrow or on the next session. But she's amazing. She is a true ally, but she has done so much work within the NAA. And to have someone like her say, Crystal, you're supposed to be here. I'm going to make sure that you're here. It didn't matter that there weren't a lot of people who looked like me in the room. I knew I belonged there. So it was definitely something that changes your perspective. And I am going to be forever grateful for it. And now it's a little bit different. It's like you stated, you get to get your designation. So that's a great opportunity as well, because there are a lot of companies who, while they do invest in you on certain level, um, it it's not a cheap program to get
Right.
your designation. So just carving out that space for those individuals who belong in these marginalized groups to be able to get the funding to take part and to get their designations, very, very important. But
Yes.
it's definitely changed me in a different way than, of course, those who receive it now would be, because the opportunity was it's a little bit different.
And
But
I like to bring that up because I like to shine a light on those type of things. I always
yeah,
talk to people in my local community here about there's things that NAA offers.
yes,
Take advantage of them. Everything does not cost. There's some scholarships out there. And
absolutely.
one of the things that you hear is if you want people to miss it, put it in a book. Make them read it, put it on the website.
Right.
The information is out there. So
Mhm.
you know, anytime somebody that looks like me has been able to benefit from the scholarship, from the DLP program, from
Yeah.
having a mentor with NAA, I definitely want to shine a light on that because I want people to know that these resources are out there. NAA is not just where Blue Moon is located.
Right.
Like, and there's a lot of
No.
people that think that there's an education and advocacy and things
Yes.
that go on. So we talked about Crystal, the professional. Crystal, the rock star at NAA. Crystal is also a mom. Crystal is also a wife.
Yes.
What does that, because and I'd like to go here with you, Crystal, because I'm also a mom and a wife,
You
and I
are.
do 10,000 other things.
Yes, ma'am.
And it's really hard. It's a conversation that we smile about and we laugh about, but you know just as well as I do, to be a mom and to balance all of this. For Mother's Day, my son, he's in kindergarten, and they did a book, and it said, "What is your mom really good at?" And he drew a picture of me at my computer, and he said, "Working." And I'm not gonna lie, I was like, "Oh my God."
Yeah.
It's a catch 22.
Yeah.
I do want you to see mom works because I want you to see that you have a strong mom, but then I don't want that to be what mom is remembered for.
For sure.
So how do you
For sure.
balance doing all this travel, being all of this for everybody else, and still having some crystal left over for husband and child?
You know, it's funny because Marcy French was just here. I think it was last month. We had our state conference here, education conference. And we went out to dinner, and I asked her the same question. I'm like, how do you balance this? She's like, there was no balance. Some days I'm a great wife. Some days I'm a great mother. And there are other days where I am great at whatever my title is. I'm great at work. But it's rare that it's all three on the same day. And I think she said it best when she said that, because it gets so overwhelming at times. I tell everyone my daughter's 3. She's about to be 4 in September, and she is a wild child. She is me now, and I was kind of hoping that my daughter would be me earlier in life because I was not wild. I gave my mom no problems. My mom, my grandmother, I didn't give them any I mean, normal, but nothing serious. That was my
Right.
best friend, right? So I wanted her to be like me then, but she's like me now. I definitely speak my mind. I am loud. I am intense. I am very passionate about the things that I do, but I am very passionate about her, and I love her, and I love my husband. And that is very important. Just having that and knowing that you're not always going to get it right. And I tell everyone, I had Carter, that's her name, Carter. I had her later in life. So I was already in a routine. Like, I was already doing what I need to do. I mean, I used to work overnight. Now, I wouldn't suggest that. I mean, that's a whole other story. That's work-life balance. But I wouldn't suggest that. But there would be times where I would be sitting at my computer and my husband would go to bed, and he'd get up in the morning. He's a teacher. He would come around the corner. He was like, "Have you not moved?" No, I have not moved, and I had coffee very, very late. But but it's like I can't do that anymore. I am wiped out, right? And so it's having to balance that, like try to find something in that, trying to find a win every day, right? Just trying to find that one win. But it's been very different. And Ty, I know what you mean. When you said your son drew that picture. So my husband picks my daughter up. I take her to school, and then my husband picks her up. He's a teacher, so he gets home at about 4 o'clock every day, 4:30. I'm just amping up. I got to be honest with you. I work for a company based out of Salt Lake City, and they're 2 hours behind us. So
Mhm.
I'm really just amping up. I take all of my meetings in the afternoons, things like that. I try to do that. So she comes home and she goes, "You're not working," which means please stop working. And do you want to play? And the mom guilt is there. I mean, it is there. Now,
Mhm.
I will say that when I travel, because I travel for work, I will say that, my husband holds it down. I
Yeah.
have an amazing husband. He is an amazing father. I don't know how I got so lucky, but he holds it down. But I will say that sometimes with everything going on, getting out those first couple of days, I don't really miss too much about
Mhm.
back home. But it's day 3 when it kicks in, and I miss her, and I want to see her, and she misses me. And it is one of those things. And I think I spoke with you about this a while ago. Maybe when we first met, we were kind of talking about it. And it took me a while once I got back from maternity leave to
Mm-hmm.
really feel like myself again. I mean, maybe like a year and a half. I just felt like I couldn't do enough because I was one way before I had her and another way after, because now it's like a balancing act. Like I'm just trying to keep it together. So it took me a while. But really it's the support that you receive. And it's really important to work for a company that values you and understands who
Mm.
you are and the work that you do. So I apparently it was really only me who thought I wasn't doing enough, but I think it's something that we as moms
Mm-hmm.
experience. And when we're coming back, just people looking at us like she can't do this or she can't do that because now she has to be a mom. So it took a minute. And again, I'm rambling because this is a whole.
No, you know what? But you're saying some good things because that it's a woman out there that has had a baby or that has adopted a child that has had a life
Mhm.
changing experience and then has to go back to work. And
Yep.
it does take a while. So I like that you pointed out that it took you a year.
Mhm.
It's somebody out there that's giving themselves a month, 30 days, 60 days, and they hear you say, it took me a year to bounce back.
Mhm.
And that's going to make somebody say, well, if it took Crystal a year and Ty just said Crystal is the boss and she got a year, then I can give myself some grace.
Yeah, for
So that's
sure.
extending some grace, and I resonate with what you're saying because I'm stuck in the place between I'm doing good, but I need to go harder. I
Yes.
need to do more. I'm not doing enough. Because before my baby, he's 6. I was, I was a sales rep for CoStar. I was ripping and running. I was teaching
Mhm.
throughout the nation. And then all of a sudden the baby got thrown into that. And I'm like, how do I
You're right.
balance all of this and still feel fulfilled as a person?
Yes.
So that takes us into another
Yes.
topic. We're giving to Real Source. We give into Nicole. We give into the whole team over there. You're pouring into them every day. And then you going home and you pouring into your baby and you being a great wife. Well, we know not on the same days because you told us
No,
that. Everybody don't get
rare.
good
It's a
Crystal.
very rare. It's a good day if that happens.
So
Everybody
now
does.
everybody has taken
Yeah.
everything out of Crystal. Crystal is this jar is empty. I am depleted. How does Crystal feel back up?
For me with it's weird because there are different things. So my my friendships are very important to me. Very, very important. My husband said it the other day. He's like, "You you don't dress up here. But when you go out with your friends, it's like, who are you dressing up for?" I'm like, literally my friends, right? Like that's who I'm dressing up for. But my friends are very, very important to me. And honestly, I had gotten to a point where I have a very small circle, right? My best friend has been my friend for over 30 years. And I have some very, very close friends. And it was recently, maybe a couple years ago now, that I met the amazing women of Melanin and Multifamily. And honestly, and I'm saying that to say, when we talk about, that's right, you got your cup. When we talk about what fills me up, when we have our conferences now, like NAA and we have AOD coming up, I look forward to my time with them, checking in with them. They check in with me all of the time, and it fills me up. Having to speak with Aishia, Dana, it fills me up. It's a good time. So these are the things that are important to me. The same as when I get a chance to talk to my friends and my family, like my cousin Shaquasia, who was also in the industry for a very long time. But like I said, I have a small group of friends, and when we connect, it means something. But as far as like the everyday, am I taking care of myself? Am I going to get my massages? No, I have a gift card that I've had for like a year. Am I going to get my nails done all the time? Absolutely not. Only for special occasions. These are the things that I'm not doing, but I do find comfort in those connections. And honestly, I love to travel. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it is my thing. Ty, you already know. I did book Greece, by the way. You kept asking me. I did it. It's done. I'm out of here. We're gone. But I love traveling, and those things just really fill me up. They are good for my soul. Just like I was telling you, the reason why I went home back home, we were talking about it earlier. There was a death, but at the same time, what that person wanted was everybody to come together and celebrate, and really seeing all of those people from back home, all of those friends, and just sharing those good times, just laughing and letting go. It filled me as well. So these are the things that matter to me. My friendships. These are the things that fill me up. And then of course my love for travel and here and
And just
there.
connecting with people. From my first
Yeah,
interaction with you,
absolutely.
and I want to say that was last year, and we sat down and we had a live conversation then. I grabbed you and was like, hey, will you podcast with me for a minute? I think loving people is your love language. And
Mhm.
that's why we all love back on you when it was your birthday. And I'll make sure that I share
I
this. We had a whole
know.
surprise party. Who comes out of town for work and get a whole surprise
I
birthday
know.
party?
Oh my, and y'all really did surprise me. I was like, what? Wait, why are the lights going off? What did I miss something? Did I forget something? Was I moving too fast? What did I forget? It felt so good. These are the things that we do for one another, and these are
Mhm.
the things that matter. But yes, it was awesome. It was
So
awesome.
what's next for Crystal? I know you have your job. I
Yeah.
know that you do your work in the space of NAA.
Yes.
But I also know that you're a brilliant woman, and like a lot of us, we all have something on the side that God has put in us, some purpose that it has been tugging away at us. Like this would be something great for you to do, whether it be write a book, teach a course,
Yes.
something. There, I know that there, and I'm destined to get it today on Talking with Time. There is a
Oh,
thought that
God.
Crystal is sleeping on herself with. There is something in Crystal that Crystal wants to manifest to come forth. What's next for Crystal?
I love what I do, and we know this, and I
Yes.
definitely want to continue doing it. But I have had the opportunity to speak and teach on a beyond my organization, so I always look forward to doing that. If I have something to say that people find worthwhile, I definitely want to say it. So I do that. I love working with the committees and things like that. So really, just being in that space and continuing to help however I can. I am not some like you and Dana and Aishia, y'all are speaking everywhere. And while that is amazing, I love it for you all.
Like that is not my ministry,
I
sis.
don't, it is not, I mean, I love it and I do it and it's fine, but it's not really like a focus for me because
Mhm.
this is the work that I'm doing is very, very important at the level of in which I'm doing it. And I definitely want to continue doing that for people. And so you will see me again. I love speaking at NAA. I would love the opportunity to do that again. We do have some um, training sessions that we have coming up within NAA that I'll be partnering with some people like Aishia on for some executive DE&I training for all executives within the industry. In a couple of days, I will be moderating a panel for our local apartment association. So honestly, I will do it. I always do it when I'm asked because I'm here to serve. And I love it. So you'll be seeing more of that from me, and I definitely look forward to sharing anything that I can, just being a resource for people.
So
Absolutely,
before I let you off of here, because I know there's people out there and I know how you feel about mentorship. So
for
I
sure.
definitely want
Yes,
to touch on that a little bit because I know that there's people out there that's like, I want me a Crystal. I want me somebody because Crystal is straight up. She
yes,
is going to hold you accountable. See,
yes,
these are the things that makes you a great mentor because these are the things you have to do
yeah,
to have a mentor.
for
To
sure.
have a mentee. So, what does mentorship look like for you if somebody is out there looking for somebody to be mentored? And do
Yeah.
you also, are you being mentored by somebody? How do you keep that balance so you can make sure that you're getting poured into while you're pouring out? How
I
important?
am very resourceful. So if there's an answer that I need, I know where to get it from, right? But I have so many people in my life right now that actually help me. Like I definitely talk to Dana. I talk to Aishia. I have a mentor, Kathy Felix, that I've had for years. And while we don't speak every day, anytime I need her, she's going to be there for me. And she's really helped me become who I am within this industry. So I've had people in my life that encourage me, that are honest with me, because I think that is a very important when it comes to mentorship. You have to be honest. There is no sugarcoating it. No one gets better that way. As I said, I am very intense. But I let you know at the beginning. So if you want a mentor, if you're looking for someone, I definitely have the space and the time and would love to help whoever I can. Now I will tell you when I do not have the time or the space to help you. So let me throw that in there. I will tell you, not right now, but I can point you in the right direction. But I'm definitely always willing to do that. But I'm very honest, and because I want people to be who they want to be. I want them to be more than what they are or where they are, and just having someone who has had to kind of go that path and figure out where they belong, what their passion is. I definitely understand it. So I am open to it, and I do it currently. So I'm currently a mentor for the DLP program. My mentor, my mentee Gary, amazing. I can't wait to see his capstone. It's going to be great. And just recently, Jennifer Joseph within my own company has asked for me to work with her and be her mentor, which I was like, me? You want me? But apparently, you know, I have something to
It
offer.
shows you that people are watching too. I think we
Yeah.
all think of ourselves as, and it's because we're women who we never feel like we're doing enough. So
Mhm.
when somebody says that you're the person that I want to model myself after, I want to do like you're doing, and you like, I ain't even
What am
scratched
I
the
doing?
surface yet. Like I ain't even doing nothing yet, because that's
Yeah.
how I feel about me. I'm like, no, I'm still a baby in whatever
Yeah.
it is that God is.
You are definitely not, but you are definitely not, Ty. But
If I
that's
wasn't
fine.
a baby in this, me and you would be sitting on Good Morning America
I know.
or The View or The Real on daytime TV having this conversation with each other.
Which, if
So
asked, I would. I'm just saying, you are definitely,
definitely. So before we get off of here, Crystal, we have
yeah.
talked about who you are, what you do in the multifamily
Yeah.
space, your belief in mentorship, how you view marriage, how you look at motherhood and balancing it all. What would you say to any woman? Because this is all about representation, and we do this. I think in the beginning with all of us, we did it for a check, and I still got to get paid. Don't stop paying me. But it has become bigger than us, as you
Yeah.
said before. The
Yes.
stakes are higher at this point. So to any woman that's out there that is a property manager, that is a leasing professional still on site, that is a black woman that does not see representation, don't know that there's room for her at the table, what would you say to them?
I would say that whatever you want, you should go get. You don't let that stop you. And it's easier said than done. So you have to work. It's not going to just come to you. You do have to work for it. Everything that I have within my career, I have worked very hard for. And so funny. One of my friends actually posted something about that, how not to be humble when it comes to the work that you've put in. And I'm summarizing it and paraphrasing all that good stuff. But you should not, especially for us, where that's not usually when you look at someone in a VP role or an executive role, we are not who you will always see. So it's like you're always trying to prove yourself, but just know that you are enough. If you're willing to do the work, you're willing to do what it takes, you're enough, and you don't let that stop you. If you don't see anyone that looks like you, fine, you're the first. You have to do that. So for any woman out there, whether you have kids or not in this, whether you have kids or not, whether you're just starting in this industry or you've been in this industry for a while and you don't really see a way forward, just know that there is a way forward, and anything that you want you can obtain. And you definitely have to keep that mindset. On some days it's harder than others,
Mm-hmm.
but I will definitely say that's really important. I am very, very passionate
And on the
about
hard
my.
days, you have a margarita,
That's right.
you lay down,
Right.
you binge watch your favorite TV shows on Netflix,
That's right. That's right.
you get up the next day
You
and
do
you
it.
execute all over again.
Yeah.
So, Crystal, it has been amazing to have you on the platform. For anybody out there that is listening, as I said before when we first got started, guys, Talking with Ty is an unscripted platform. What you see on here is raw, unfiltered, unedited conversation. Crystal and I did not talk prior to about what we were going to talk about
Yeah.
today because I like to get the real story and what you
Yeah.
really feel about the work that you're doing and in the space that you're doing.
Yeah.
If there's anybody out there that you guys would like to find out more about them, like I said, next up is Alex Jacku. She's going to be on at next Tuesday. But if there's anybody out there and you like, you know what, Ty, I always see them floating around in AA. Everybody talks about this person. When they walk in the room, everybody get quiet. Like, who are they? Where did they come from? I'm too scared to go up and ask them their name. If there's anybody out there like that and you want to know their story, because guys, we all put our pants on one leg at a time. You would be surprised when you hear somebody's story from coming from being a single parent household to James shared with us about the loss of his mom and being the older brother, to the things that Melissa shared with us about writing a book and being a faith-based leader. So these are the things that bring us together in life. And it's like, you ever looked at Unsung Hollywood?
Yes.
And it's somebody who they've been famous and you've been knowing them and they okay, you like their music. You might not would go to a concert, but you hear their story.
Mm-hmm.
And then you like, oh my God, I'm going to buy that CD.
Yep.
I love them.
Absolutely.
Just because their story resonates with me, and now I can understand why Crystal is persistent. Now I can understand why when we're sitting in Starbucks, Crystal is at the end of the table ready to shake the table because she's so passionate about the work and about serving other people. Crystal, I cannot wait to see where your career goes.
Thank you, Ty.
I am privileged to share the multifamily space with you and to serve alongside of you. I know that if I ever need some backup,
You got it. Anytime. Just call me. I'm always ready. I'm ready to go.
So thank you for everybody tuning in. I will play the replay. Of course, we had a hiccup this morning because I deleted the one that was on LinkedIn, so people could not come in with their questions, even though we do have some people that are on camera with us in the background. We were not able to live stream from LinkedIn. So I will share our video, and any comments, any questions out there that you guys have for Crystal, or if there's anything that you wanted to know about Crystal Dukes and I did not find it out, please let me know.
Yes.
So I can make sure that I get the answers to your questions. It was an amazing day. I look forward to seeing you in California.
Absolutely.
We're going to have a ball and make sure, I'm sure, with the Melanin and Multifamily. Shout out to Monica Frazier.
Yes.
Also, shout out before I leave to Melissa D. White. She's doing a live chat on LinkedIn every morning from 7:30 Central Time to 8:30. And if you do not have a way to get your morning powered up, I invite you guys to join the call. It's just a live, and you don't even have to be cute because you don't have to come on camera. So this is a voice only thing on LinkedIn, but it is a way to get your morning started and to get you powered up. Crystal, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank
Guys, thank
you.
you so much for joining me also. And before I cut the camera off, is there anything else, Crystal, that you want to say to the people?
No, but let me just throw something in. It was on my mind and I never got a chance to circle back. So I'm just going to circle back because it's important. You mentioned that the application was open for committees. It looks really good when you're a part of a committee. Everybody wants to be a part of a committee. They want to put it on their LinkedIn, they want to put it on their resume. But if you do not plan to do the work, do not sign up to volunteer for a committee. It's a really important work that's happening right now. So if you're passionate about it and you really want to do the work, then please do sign up. But just make sure that you are ready for it because there is work to be done. So I wanted to say that back then, and I didn't want to end this without saying it. Which of course I'll put that in my post when I
Well,
post
you
the
didn't heard
applications.
it. You didn't
But it's
heard
very,
it.
very important.
On Talking with Ty, here first from my girl Crystal Dukes. Don't sign. I'm gonna put it in another way. This is the other way she was saying it. Don't sign up for no committee if you don't plan on doing no work. Okay,
That's
you know
right.
it looks cute on your LinkedIn post, and oh my God, I got picked to be on the committee. But this is real work. This is real
Yeah.
life-changing work. But if you are out there and you want your voice to be heard, you feel like, hey, Ty, I have something to say. I just don't know who to say it to. Get involved.
Yes.
Get
Please do.
involved. Yeah. So if you see me, if you see Crystal out, if you see us in San Diego, if you need to know somebody, make sure you grab one of us. As you can tell, we are super friendly. If you need
Yes.
a facilitator
Yes.
or a public speaker, book us also. All right, Crystal,
Thank
thank
you,
you so much.
Ty.
Have an amazing rest of the week, and
You
I look
too.
forward to seeing you soon.
All righty. See you later.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.